This presentation is about the places in a town and also the verb to want. I'm getting this information from pages 142 and 143 in your textbook. When you go to those pages, you will see a map and you will see some examples about some sentences. In the map, you will be able to see the words that you see on screen. El cajero automático, el cibercafé, el almacén, el café, el teatro, el club. I think this would be a good opportunity to review why we write acentos. Let's take a look at the word that has an acento in the last letter E. That's the second word from top to bottom. That word is an aguda, and we know the agudas sound the loudest in the last syllable. Now, why is there a written accent mark? Because the word ends in a vowel. If you remember, the rule was that the last syllable was the loudest and the word had to end in an N, S, or vowel. So that condition is fulfilled in when you see the second word. Also when you see the third word and the fourth word. So that's why those words have an acento. The word that is at the top has an acento because is the third syllable from the last one is the loudest one. It's not the last syllable, it's not the next to the last syllable, it's the third to last. And when that happens, you always put a written accent mark. So if there are words in which the third to last syllable is the loudest, you will always add an accent mark. The words at the bottom, well, the word at the bottom doesn't have an accent mark because most of the small words, most of the words that have only one syllable do not have a written accent mark. So that's why that word at the bottom doesn't have a written accent mark. The next to last word doesn't have an accent mark because that's a different kind of word. And there are some specific rules about it. And because of those rules, that word, the next to last word that you see on the screen, doesn't have an acento. Now, on page 143, you're going to see this information. How do you say when you want to do something? Okay? Like they want to play, she wants to study. To do that, you have to use the verb to want, and then you have to use the verb in the infinitive form. I remind you on this slide that the verbs in infinitive form in Spanish have three kinds of endings, and you see those three kinds of endings on the slide. When you have a verb in the infinitive form, nobody's doing the action. Like to send, to study, to learn. I'm not telling you who learns, and I'm not telling you when somebody learns. If I say to learn, I don't know who's in the action, and I don't know when that action happens. So when that happens, that means it's a verb in infinitive form. This is an example in English. She wants to send. So you can see that she wants, the verb to want is conjugated. She wants. You have to add an S. And then the second part of this phrase has a verb in infinitive form. In English is to send. Now you can see in this slide the equivalent in Spanish. The first verb, to want, is conjugated, but the second verb is not conjugated. How do I know it's not conjugated? Because it ends in AR. Same thing when we say we want to see. We want is conjugated in Spanish, but the to see is not conjugated. So only the first verb is conjugated. These are other examples. Quiere ver, quiere comer, quiere caminar y hacer ejercicio. He or she, or formal you, want to see, want to eat, want to walk and do exercise. In page 143, you're also going to see a question. The question is saying, where is? Where is? And the answer, it's in, or he or she is in. For example, if you look at page 162, you're going to see a map. If I tell you that somebody wants to see paintings, if you look at page 142, what is the place where somebody would like to see paintings? If somebody wants to eat donuts, where would somebody have to go to eat donuts? That place is also in page 142. If somebody wants to walk and do exercise, where would that person go? That's also in page 142. Quiere ver pinturas, está en el museo. Quiere comer donas, está en el café. Quiere caminar y hacer ejercicio, está en el parque.